Oh, you know who it be? It's your boy, Mikey WooWoo, the Babbling baby boomer. Hey, look, I'm always preaching about not allowing someone to spoon feed you your faith. And I don't. I really don't. I watch a lot of ministers now. A lot of these, especially these TV evangelists, they're out of control. But I try to maintain my own faith, knowledge of my own faith. And the only way that I can do that is by studying the Bible. And I do. I have many of them. And I was thinking about the bond of marriage. Of all the bonds that were ever created in the creation of mankind, I was thinking about the bond of marriage. Oh, excuse me. It really does have to be the most sacred bond on the face of this earth. And I'm not talking of all the bonds, whether it's a bond between mother and child, father and child, aunt and uncle, grandpap and grandchild. Of all the bonds that were ever created on the face of this earth, I do believe that God intended for marriage to be the most sacred bond of all, of any human experience. Period. I firmly believe that. And then I had to question myself. How did the government get involved? Like, I doubt very much in the days of Jesus that he told me that I had to go to the local magistrate or the local courthouse or the local king or queen to ask for permission to marry the woman that I have found favor in. Because that's how they used to say, I love you. So, I find favor in her. Words, love, hadn't come into real play. So, I had to ask myself, how did that happen? And then it occurred to me that Christ, my Lord and Savior, he called Lucifer the god of this earth. Period. Everything he has his hands in everything. Science, medicine, law, government, politics. Lucifer has created a structure of things for the human existence on this earth for one reason and one reason only: to deter our attention from what matters most. And that's a bond with God first and foremost. See, God told us to be in it as Christians, but not of it. In it, but not of it. Hence, I had to go back to the whole thought process of marriage. So a marriage in the beginning was supposed to be this sacred bond between potential husband, potential wife, and God. And whatever, spiritual leader might have brought them to this point. There was no permissions acquired, no fees had to be paid, no blood tests had to be done. None of that. It was a sacred bond between man and woman. A man and a woman that were intelligent enough that if that marriage should dissolve, was capable of themselves sitting down and determining who was going to get what. How are we going to care for the children? from this moment forward. Are you going to keep the house or am I going to keep the house? You make a better income. Let me keep the house. I'll take the dog, you keep the cat. They were more free about making their decisions because they weren't so chained to this system of things. See, we've been mentally brainwashed to the point where we allow this structure of things into every aspect of our lives. And the most sacred aspect of our lives is that of a marriage or the birth of a child, which will be a whole other video about applying for a Social Security card. So now, in these days and times, when you go to apply for a marriage license, you are no longer, that bond is no longer as sacred to God as what it was intended to be, because you've opened the door to allow this structure of things which we are not to be a part of, in it but not of it. You've allowed it to enter into that sacred bond, to the point now where it's me, my potential bride, the government, and God. Because in the end, I don't have a say, she don't have a say. We have to let him say who walks away with what and when and where. I say that we take back our freedoms, one tiny step at a time, especially with a bond so sacred as that of marriage. I have faith in the fact that we as men and women are intelligent enough to sit down. Say I do get married. 10 years from now, her and I decide that it's time to stop. We're toxic. We're killing each other. If we were intelligent enough to determine that, then I'm sure we are intelligent enough to be able to sit down and determine who the hell is going to get what, when, and how. Come on. Let's stop being sheep. Because they consider us nothing more than sheeple. And the whole thing about the birth of a child and the Social Security card, that'll come up next. Love you guys. Stay safe, stay kind, and take back a little bit of your freedom every day. Please. We have to break free from this chain of lies that Lucifer has created. I don't know, to blind us from the truth.